Hello and welcome to Grown Folk, the new talk show for senior women and those we love and want to take care of. Boy, do we have an exciting show for you today.
Oh, yeah.
We have an icon on our show today. Someone has come back to join us and entertain us for a few minutes. And let me ask you this. Do you have a little racial tension in your neighborhood? Would you like a very interesting solution to that situation that I've experienced myself? We may have a solution for you today. And we have a treat for you in exchange for something. If you email us,
want something.
We always want something,
Yes,
don't we,
always
girls?
want something.
That's right.
If you email us on our website, grownfolk.info, send us a message and tell us 3 seniors you would like us to write directly to and invite them to watch our show. We will gift you with our very own
Grown.
Isn't it lovely?
It is.
It's a beautiful
love the
sage
color.
green with yellow and dark green, Kelly green lettering. See, isn't that great?
It's
We
wonderful.
love for you to wear it, and guess what? You can't get it anywhere else but here. Not at Walmart, not at Goodwill, only here.
Not a Goodwill.
That's right.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Oh, you're one of
Michelle,
them.
I
Yes.
heard something about you
Yes,
today.
I got so
Oh, my.
excited. I was on a trip to LA, and I came back on a bus from. Well, I was dropping my car off, and I was getting my ride back to LA and to the airport. And this really nice man from the thrifty rent-a-car picked up my luggage, and he helped me. He saw I was kind of a senior, and I needed a little help. I had a lot of luggage. I do not travel lightly at all.
With Louis Vuitton luggage, I might add.
No. Anyway, so
What a surprise.
it was really nice of him. He helped me, and you know, we're not like cast away as a senior. He was checking me out, and then he said, "Girl, you still got it." Gosh, that's nice. I got it. No, but I wasn't sure like how to take that. I mean, it was a nice compliment, and I appreciated it all. But when don't you got it?
We still
well,
got
there
it.
are times. There
That's
are
right.
times. But
There are times?
Enjoy the compliment when you get it, and
That's
just
right. That's right.
Well,
go with it.
but then I thought to myself, you know, are we invisible? Like the seniors, we're seniors now, and especially in a place like LA, which is very young.
Yeah,
and,
very young.
You know, I have a young soul. I mean, my body may not be young. This is it. This is who I am. You
Yeah.
can like it or not,
Yeah.
but and that's my attitude when I go there. But I just felt like should I determine my self-worth by what someone else thinks about me?
Oh, well, of course not.
And I
No,
don't.
you
And,
shouldn't.
but again, like, why can't a 55-year-old like me?
Hear a compliment.
No, I mean, I appreciated the
Yeah,
compliment, don't get me
absolutely.
wrong, but I felt like that doesn't always happen maybe to other people or our age bracket, and I think
Oh, it
like
happens
you'll see
to me all the time.
well, like you do, but
Yeah.
It probably does.
no, it all does, I'm sure, for all of us, because we're hot, but that's
We
not the point.
are. I got the most compliments when I was in my 20s and 30s and I was pregnant. But every once in a while now, I do get a compliment, usually from a 40-year-old.
No, I think it was also about my attitude, and I have that attitude. Well,
Yeah.
this is it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's an attractive thing as older people, as we get older, because we do attract confidence from the youngsters. And I find that like
Absolutely.
youngsters actually, my ex-husband, like think, get on there, but
Absolutely. I was talking about
okay.
this
Word
very
for that.
thing.
There's a word for that.
There's a word for that? What's that?
cougar.
Oh my goodness.
No. She was the
because
recipient.
No,
She
I
wasn't
was right. I
seeking
wasn't.
anything.
You weren't
It's
going.
a
You weren't going
compliment,
after.
Michelle. It's a
No,
compliment.
and I get the whole thing
Absolutely.
again,
It's
but
a
again,
compliment.
that whole thing about not being because we're older, we don't have it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we do, and you're going to see from some of
Absolutely.
our guests here that they have it
They
as well.
definitely have it. I
Yes.
was talking about this very thing yesterday with the wonderful Beverly Shea of Southwest Now magazine. She was telling me she's in her early 50s and looks great.
Amen.
She was telling me that she was on the beach, no makeup, bathing suit, with her kids, sand, sun, little tan, little burned. And some guy said, hey, he had overheard her conversation, you know, complaining with her girlfriend. And he said, I just want to let you know, You still got it going on, girl.
Yeah.
No, and I think everybody wants to hear that sometimes. I mean, again, it's not a
Absolutely.
determined. We're mature enough and old enough to recognize our value. The rest of the world may
Yes.
not, but
Yeah,
we
yeah.
as seniors, we
Yeah.
do have value and we recognize
But
that.
I take the compliments however they come,
Yeah, and
whenever
when you
they
do,
come.
when you do receive a compliment, be able to accept it. Don't read anything into it, but accept it and just enjoy the moment.
No,
and be grateful for the compliment.
No, and I totally have gratitude, but the whole thing is
I'm talking about everyone.
So sorry.
Yes, Den Mother.
Oh my God!
Yes, Den Mother. We will certainly do
They
that.
call me the Den Mother, so
We do call her the Den Mother.
She calls it on.
I guess
the
that's
way
what
she
I am.
feels it.
You're a wonderful Den
Thank you
mother.
for sharing that with us,
No,
Michelle.
I mean, thank you, but
You are welcome, darling. And we've got a jam-packed show for you, so we're going to take a little commercial break. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Attention, mothers and fathers of children with birth defects. The antidepressant drug Paxil has been linked to heart, brain, and spine damage, and many other horrible birth defects in newborns.
Birth defects are a family's worst nightmare. It's a terrible thing for a family to bear. If you are a mother or father and your child has a birth defect, the drug Paxil may be to blame.
I'm attorney Bob Goldwater. The manufacturer Paxil has agreed to pay more than $1 billion to settle hundreds of Paxil birth defect lawsuits.
Call the Goldwater Law Firm right now for a free legal consultation. You and your child may be entitled to financial compensation.
If you took the drug Paxil while you were pregnant and your baby was born with a birth defect, call us right now. You and your child may be entitled to financial compensation.
Call the Goldwater Law Firm right now.
Call the Goldwater Law Firm right now at 1-800-693-2748 to see if we can help. Call 1-800-693-2748. That's 1-800-693-2748.
Welcome back to Grown Folk. I mentioned a little racial tension, perhaps, in your neighborhood. I live in a wonderful community, but years ago, there may have been a little bit of tension when the community started to change, I understand. I've only lived there 3 years. So I asked an organization to come on the show to discuss their benefit to the community with us. I would like to welcome Councilman James Zander, who is a board member of an organization called Dining and Dialogue, and Barbara Douglas, who is the board secretary of Dining and Dialogue. Welcome.
Thank you.
So glad
Moving
to
to our
have you.
community also.
Thank you, James.
In a gorgeous home.
Well, thank
Yes.
you.
In a gorgeous
In a gorgeous community.
It was.
I'm really, really curious about this organization. I did attend one major event last year, which really piqued my curiosity and interest about the history of the organization. Could we begin, first of all, by sort of sharing with our viewing audience and us the history of Dining and Dialogue? How long has it been around?
The DeSoto Dining and Dialogue has been around for about 9 years. It formed out of the Dallas Dining and Dialogue. And then we saw what was going on in Dallas, and the mayor at the time, Mayor Pro Tem, and the city manager, Jim Boff at the time, decided that was something that we should bring to DeSoto. So DeSoto Dining and Dialogue was formed about 9 years ago, and it has helped in the transition. As you mentioned, Summer, we went from a predominantly white neighborhood, white community, to a predominantly black community. And in that transition, we've done an amazing job of working together so there was no, or very little, racial tension.
That is excellent. So this organization began in Dallas, Texas?
Yes.
Is it a national organization?
No.
It is purely a local organization?
It's a local organization that helps in the transition from communities. And what we find is that when it's all said and done, regardless of age, race, gender, nationality, we all want the same thing. We want to live in a safe community. We want to live in a community that's attractive. We want to live in a community that has good schools.
Yes.
So we want low taxes.
Yes.
So what happens is people go to these dinners thinking that there's a real differences in the community. But the reality is, when they leave, they realize we all want the same thing.
Absolutely. Barbara,
Yes.
what is the instrument through which dining and dialogue affects this change or this communication?
It actually brings people together. I don't know you, okay? I see you every other week in the grocery store, and we walk past each other. Because of manners, we're not, good morning, how you do? But I don't know you, and we've both been in the neighborhood for 4 years.
Okay.
So once you come to one of the dinners, you find that that person you've been looking at in the supermarket for the past 4 years is a neighbor. You find that that person you've been looking at and saying hi to in the supermarket has a lot of your same qualities, your same interests. Because once you get to the table, sure enough, we bring questions there about the concerns of the people in the city. However, we also go outside of that question, you know, when you become human and you find, hey, I work there. Oh, I went to that school also. And you actually meet friends.
Wow.
So I've been on the board now for about 3 years. But after going to my first dinner, I realized I speak to maybe 40 people now by names when I go into the supermarket, or when I go to the doctor's office, or when I'm in Walmart. So it actually brings friends. It makes a friendship. It brings a closeness in your community.
So you mentioned a dinner and a table, and James, you mentioned a dinner. You give a dinner to bring these people together? How does this work?
It's basically 3 times a year. We host what we call dinner tables around the city. We try to have about 8 to 12. We have had as many as 15 dinners going on within the same night at different homes, churches, or restaurants. We have someone who would host the dinner, and then we extend invitations to the residents of DeSoto. And we try to have anywhere from 8 to 10 guests at a table. Like I said, we bring questions about the city, questions of concerns that we've had from residents. And we let everyone discuss it, get their opinion. And, you know, we feed some of it over to the city, some of it to our council, you know, our mayor, but it brings about changes. And like I said, it actually brings the city together.
Is there, I'm sorry, one more question. Is there a facilitator at these dinners?
Yes, we do have a trained facilitator that kind of keeps the questions going and keep a good flow. However, still gives everyone a chance to express themselves about the situation or the question.
Lourdes, you had a question.
Yeah, I'm trying to visualize kind of what you were explaining here, and I was wondering.
Interesting.
It is interesting. I was wondering if when you say you host several dinners, you get host families to have these dinners within is it all on the same night?
Same night.
Same night, okay.
Yeah.
And then the facilitator is how is the facilitator selected?
Go on.
Basically, we have a board, and the board recruits facilitators. Facilitators go through a training program, so they are able to help move the conversation along so it's not dominated by one person or another. And then we also have recruit hosts, and we can always use more hosts. We need more hosts. So anybody out there in DeSoto who'd like to be a host, we welcome you being a host. What you're doing as a host, you're opening your home up, not to strangers, but your neighbors.
So is the food prepared by the homeowner, or does the city take care of that?
Yeah. The host has to take the total cost of being a host. The host provides the dinner and the space for the dinner. And so, but it's just like having a dinner party at your home.
Is there any a limit to the number of questions, type of questions that are asked?
Well, the board put together the questions. And the questions based upon where the city is sometimes. We have one of the questions dealt with transportation. Another question dealt with whether we want to have an event center. You know, so we're looking for what issues are going on in the community, and then we also try to then also bring it back to the root of the DeSoto Dine Dialogue. It's the fact that, you know, what brought you to DeSoto? What do you like about DeSoto? What troubles you about DeSoto? So it's really a good conversation amongst neighbors.
Do you have a mixture of races? We were referring to racial tension. Do you try to make the groups at the tables different races?
Well, let me clarify that. First of all, DeSoto does not have racial tensions.
I know.
Let's put it out there straight.
Okay, well,
what we
there are
have is
communities that do.
we have a community who wants to work together for the betterment of the whole community. Now, DeSoto is 67% African American, and most of the participants at the dinner tables are African Americans. So, you know, we do have a challenge sometimes of having a diverse table. But diversity is not just based upon race. Diversity can be based upon economics, education,
social status.
Thank goodness for that.
Yes,
You know, that
you're
has
right.
become far
Absolutely
beyond
right.
race now.
Yeah.
So we
well,
feel-
in some instances, in all instances, we have not. James and Barbara, thank you so much. I happen to have participated in one of these dinners with Dining and Dialogue a year ago. It was fantastic. I didn't know what to expect, but it just opened up all kinds of conversations, and it was a racially mixed group that I participated in. It was wonderful. Councilman James Zander and Barbara Douglas, thank you so much for joining us and giving us a little snippet of what Dining and Dialogue is all about. You can start the same kind of organization in your community wherever you live across the United States or around the world. If there's something you need to work out amongst the people, Dining and Dialogue might be the way to do it. We'll be right back.
For the past 10 years, our graduates shared their stories. Now they come together for the first time.
It's just really fantastic to see where everybody kind of started out and where they are now.
The education itself has opened numerous doors and opportunities for me. The best thing that's happened to me after my education is being able to provide for my family. That ITT Tech allowed me to become whom I've always wanted to be.
If there's something that you want to do, do it. It will pay off in the long run.
Stick to it. Know exactly what your dream and your goal is and stick to it. Any dream that you have, turn it into reality. It is possible.
You have to have an education, so I would say make the investment, go ahead, get the education, better yourself, and just, you know, raise the bar.
We are educators helping people build a foundation for the rest of their lives. ITT Technical Institute, education for the future.
Schedule your campus tour. Call 800-816-7115.
We have a very special guest for you right now, and his name is Jim Hayberg. He is the board chairman of the spectacular Senior Follies. Hi, Jim. It is so nice to have you.
Welcome.
Glad to be here.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
What is the spectacular Senior Follies?
Spectacular Senior Follies is a showcase of senior talent in North Texas.
Woohoo!
You have to be 55. You have to be 55 or better to even audition for the show. We have retired professionals. We have very talented amateurs.
Excuse me, you just said 55 or better.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Sorry to interrupt, but that was
go in.
fantastic.
He has really got it going.
Absolutely.
I like that, Jim.
We have we're in about our 5th year, and we have the mission of bringing information to folks that just because you've reached a certain age does not mean you have to slow down.
Right.
And so part of our mission is to say, hey, get up off that rocker, right?
Yeah.
Because that just, you know, eventually you'll spread to fill the rocker. So you need to get up and be active and be doing something, because the more active you are, both physically and mentally, the greater your enjoyment of life and your longevity.
Absolutely.
So that's part of our mission, is to say, hey, get up and be active, because that's part of what's going on.
Now, so I blanked out, I'm sorry. Is this a Dallas Spectacular Senior Follies? Is it national? Is it Texas?
As far as I know, we're the only variety show that features seniors in the central part of the United States.
Wow.
There's a small group in Florida that does something similar, and the Palm Springs Follies out in California, they do lots of shows. We tend to do one weekend a year.
So, and how do you select the talent?
Talent is selected by audition.
And do they get paid?
They get paid with their self-esteem.
They always want to know.
Money on the money.
She loves to get paid, doesn't she?
We have a board of about 10 members with all varieties of background. We're all volunteers. The 80 to 100 performers we have in every show are all volunteers.
So they do it for the pure enjoyment of performance.
Yeah, we're a nonprofit.
Correct.
We're a 501c3 nonprofit. And the second part of our mission is to provide a showcase for senior talent in North Texas.
And the talent ranges from singers, dancers.
Dancers, comedians, ventriloquists.
Anything you want to be?
Anything you want to be.
Oh, okay.
Our oldest member will be 96.
Oh my! Yeah.
He was a child vaudevillian, and his timing is still great.
And so is he a comedian?
He's a comedian.
Now, Jim, didn't you bring along a surprise for us? That's for the audience?
We managed to find a real surprise.
I want you to introduce our icon in your other voice.
Oh, in my other voice. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to welcome to our stage here, Miss Marilyn Monroe.
Woo!
Oh my goodness.
She's back.
She's back. That is
amazing,
Marilyn.
Marilyn. How in the world did you ever think to try out for this role?
Well, I'll tell you, when I got to be about 55 years old, I started to reanalyze my life and try to ask myself, what is the next step for me? And I just didn't quite know where I was going to go with that. And then one day I saw a little blurb in the newspaper that said, auditions for the spectacular Senior Follies, and they were looking for showgirls. So I thought to myself, this is like the strangest thing I've ever read, and I thought I would give it a shot. I went down to the audition, and the room was full of these most beautiful older people, and I thought, well, how cool is this? And I thought, I want to be part of something big like this. And so I met the producer and the director, and I said I was here to be a showgirl, and they said, turn around. And so,
strut your stuff, girl.
Marilyn. Now, Marilyn, had you ever performed before?
No.
Oh my goodness.
No, I was just taking a shot, and I thought it would be something fun to try. And I thought, well, how hard could it be to be a showgirl? I can walk, and I've been up and downstairs all my life.
So with the Follies, you started as a showgirl.
I was brought in to be a showgirl in the first year, and that was wonderful and a great experience. But the second year, Mark Carroll, who is the creative director, sang a song called Star, and he had me come out dressed as Marilyn Monroe and just come out and walk down the stairs and kind of do a little dance across the stage while he sang. And everyone started remarking, you look just like Marilyn Monroe.
Will you show us what you did?
The eyes.
You know, I just...
Enjoy, audience, enjoy.
That is fantastic.
So I just became Marilyn Monroe overnight.
That is so wonderful.
And now last year we had a section where we brought in some starlets from Broadway and the movies, and Marilyn Monroe got to do a little bit of her act, and it was wonderful. So I'm now Marilyn Monroe.
Like Marilyn, your outfit, it's so beautiful. Can you tell me why you selected that today?
Well, I wanted to tone it down a little bit because well, this is we're filming in the morning, and I just didn't want to overdo it.
Marilyn, how about John F. Kennedy? How do you really feel about him?
Well, Jack was a very good friend of mine.
Well, were you in love with him?
We were very good friends.
Now, Marilyn.
Well, this is a family show, isn't it?
Marilyn.
It is a family show.
Yes. Well, Jack and I were just very good friends.
Was there any truth to the love child story?
A love child?
I'm sorry, Jack was a gentleman.
I am so glad to hear that because I voted for him. I'm just so glad to hear that. Yes.
Oh,
so we can
Marilyn.
throw all those rumors out.
Oh, throw those rumors out. Jack and I were just good friends.
Oh, Marilyn, I want to know everything about you. Did you have children? Were you ever married, Marilyn?
I was married to a baseball player and a writer.
Yes.
Oh, I remember
Yes.
that.
Right. Arthur Miller.
Yes.
Arthur Miller.
And
Joe
DiMaggio.
DiMaggio.
And Joe DiMaggio, of
I remember
course.
Joe.
Yes, he was the home run king.
That's
Home
right.
run king.
And what he got you.
But he didn't get to first base.
Oh, she's not telling the truth. Come on, Marilyn. Tell it like it is. You're the sex icon. Ooh.
Marilyn knows it's a family show. And she looks so beautiful on camera. I'm looking at her on camera.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Never aged a day, huh?
And Marilyn, just to switch hats a little bit, because I think our audience would love to know, what's your actual name?
My name is Stacy Dominguez.
In real life.
In real life, but I don't know from real life today. It's all about
When
fantasy.
she puts their
It's
outfit
all about
on.
fantasy.
Marilyn, I saw so many of your films, and I really enjoyed your performances.
Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness, you were a really good actress.
Well, I
felt.
tried very hard to be an actress. People wanted to put me in a box and make me just a sex symbol, but I knew that I had depth and character, and I wanted to show my vulnerability.
Yes.
So I think the movies that I did choose kind of showed a mixture of both the sexual part, but it's always in an innocent way. I don't think I was ever overt in any of the actions that I did. I just enjoy being who I am, and I hope the audience always enjoys seeing me who I am.
Well, how was
totally
that
agree.
White House performance that you did for the
Well, when I
Kennedys?
sang Happy Birthday, I think
Yes.
they're still showing that video on YouTube.
They are.
Will you do that for us, Marilyn? We just have a minute and 30 seconds, but will you do that for us?
Well, I'd love to sing Happy Birthday.
Right here.
Right, right.
Yeah. Is it anybody's birthday coming up?
It was mine.
We can
I
pretend.
just had one.
Well, I just had one myself. Yeah. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you.
Bravo!
Bravo!
Let's give a hand to Stacy Dominguez, who plays the role of Marilyn Monroe better than anyone I've ever met.
Why, thank you ever so. I'm goose pimply all over.
And the spectacular
And the
Senior
spectacular
Follies.
Spectacular Senior Follies.
Yeah.
You can tell we have a lot of fun. This is a lot like family members.
Oh my goodness, it's great.
Go to www.seniorfollies.com. We have all kinds of information on there, how to become a friend of the Follies, about upcoming events.
About the auditions.
About the auditions. Throughout the coming year, we will have small showcase to let us know what's coming up in the big show.
Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
coming out. This was such a treat.
Fun,
Thank you.
fun, fun.
And right here, alongside this T-shirt, we had Marilyn Monroe. Let's see if we can get her to touch it. Right, Marilyn?
And you can get that very
Absolutely.
T-shirt.
And you can have that
Marilyn.
very T-shirt. We will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.